Strengthening Faith 110. I had a thought which I wanted to share. The Holy Quran possesses an uncountable amount of qualities which separates it from any other worldly book. This aspect of the Holy Quran is so intense that it cannot even be explained or discussed over countless lifetimes. But a few of these qualities will be mentioned here. First of all, in the Holy Quran, Allah, the Exalted, has given an open challenge to the entire universe, not just people. And not only a challenge to those who were present when this divine revelation was revealed, but to all of creation till the end of time. The challenge being, if the people believed the Holy Quran was not a divine revelation from Allah, the Exalted, then they should produce a chapter that can rival a chapter of the Holy Quran. Chapter 2 Al-Baqarah, verse 23.
And if you are in some doubt concerning what we sent down upon our special devotee, then bring one chapter like it, and call upon all your helpers beside Allah if you are truthful.
There is no book on the entire planet that can and has given this type of open challenge. But over 1,400 years ago, the Holy Quran gave this challenge to the entire universe, and to this day, this challenge has not been won by the non-Muslims, nor will it ever be, God willing. Another quality of the Holy Quran is that it stated the outcome of future events. But the more amazing thing about these statements is that the outcomes seemed impossible at the time. For example, chapter 48 Al-Fath, verse 28.
It is He who sent His messenger with guidance and the religion of truth, that He may make it prevail over all other religions, and sufficient is Allah as witness.
When this verse was revealed, the entire city of Mecca was Islam. So when the people of Mecca heard this verse, unfortunately for them, they believed that Islam was too feeble and would therefore not survive long, and certainly would not spread beyond the borders of Mecca, let alone the entire world. But within some years, Allah, the Exalted, fulfilled this promise. Another example of how the Holy Quran prophesied a future event which was unimaginable at the time is found in chapter 30 Ar-Rum, verses 2 to 5.
The Romans have been subdued in the nearby land, and after their subjugation they will soon overcome in a few years. The command is of Allah only before and after. And on that day the believers shall rejoice. With the help of Allah, He helps whom He pleases. And He is the Might and Merciful.
These verses of the Holy Quran were revealed during a time where the Romans, Christians, were at war with the Persians, fire worshippers. This war has been confirmed by many authentic historic books. At this particular time, the Persians were on the verge of winning the war. At one point, Rome itself was surrounded by the Persians. But Allah, the Exalted, stated that the Romans would eventually reign victorious. The non-Muslims of Mecca, who themselves were idol worshippers, favored the Persians and agreed with the majority that it was impossible for the Romans to win. But Allah, the Exalted, has always proved these verses true and allowed the Romans victory. A final example, which appeals to the scientists of the world, is seen in chapter 21 Al-Anbiya, verse 33.
And it is He who created the night and the day and the sun and the moon. Each one is floating in a circumference.
For centuries, scientists have fought over theories on how exactly the solar system is arranged, e.g., whether the sun remains still and the earth rotates around, or vice versa. Only relatively recently, it has been proven by scientists from all different faiths and backgrounds that each object, sun, moon and the earth, all rotate on their own axes and rotate around each other in a set orbit. But Allah, the Exalted, declared this over 1,400 years ago. All the science-related verses of the Holy Quran are slowly being proven by scientists today. This is a huge piece of evidence that proves that the Holy Quran are the words of the one and only true God, Allah, the Exalted, who has created this universe and everything in it, because only a creator can truly explain his creations. Even though many commands of the Holy Quran may not be understood by people, does not mean they are incorrect. Certain verses of the Holy Quran, whose wisdom was hidden to man, became apparent when society reached a certain level of development. As the whole Holy Quran is a book of wisdom and guidance, it must be accepted irrespective if one understands its commands or not. This situation is just like a child who is suffering from a cold and desires ice cream, but is not given it by their parent. The child will continue to cry without understanding the wisdom behind, But those that possess knowledge will agree with the parent, even though outwardly it appears as if the decision of the parent is wronging the child. When studying the Holy Quran, one will realize that it contains different levels of superiority, through both obvious and subtle meanings that it discusses. Chapter 11 HUD, verse 1.
This is a book whose verses are perfected and then presented in detail from one who is wise and aware.
The expressions in it are unparalleled, and its meanings are explained in a simple, straightforward way. Its verses are extremely eloquent, and no other text can surpass it. The Holy Quran also mentioned the stories of the previous nations in detail, even though the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was not educated in history. It commanded every type of good and forbade every type of evil, those that affect an individual and those that affect an entire society, so that peace and security can spread throughout homes and society. The Holy Quran is free from exaggerations, lies or falsehood, unlike poems and stories. All the verses, whether short or long, in the Holy Quran are beneficial. Even when the same story is repeated in the Holy Quran, different important lessons can be learned from it. Unlike all other books, the Holy Quran does not become boring when it is repeatedly recited, and a seeker of truth never gets fed up of studying it. The Holy Quran not only provides warnings and promises, but supports them with unshakable and clear proofs. When the Holy Quran discusses anything which can seem abstract, such as adopting patience, it always provides an easy and practical way of implementing it. It encourages one to fulfill the purpose of their creation and prepare for the eternal hereafter in a simple yet profound way. It makes the straight path clear and appealing to the one who desires true success in both worlds. The knowledge within it is timeless and can be applied to every society and age. It is a healing for every emotional, economical, and physical difficulty when it is understood and applied correctly. It is the cure for every problem an individual or an entire society can ever encounter. One only needs to turn the pages of history to observe the societies which implemented the teachings of the Holy Quran correctly, in order to understand its all-encompassing benefits. Centuries have passed, yet not even a single letter has been edited in the Holy Quran, as Allah, the Exalted, promised to safeguard it. No other book in history possesses this quality. Chapter 15 Al-Hijr, verse 9.
Indeed, it is we who sent down the message, i.e. the Quran, and indeed we will be its guardian.
This is undoubtedly the greatest and timeless miracle of Allah, the Exalted, granted to his final holy prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. But the only one who will benefit from it is the one who seeks the truth, whereas the seekers of their desires will only find it difficult to hear and follow. Chapter 17 Al-Isra, verse 82.
And we send down of the Quran that which is healing and mercy for the believers, but it does not increase the wrongdoers except in loss.
Over 400 free ebooks, audiobooks, infographics, podcasts and blogs available on our website, www.shakepod.com.